Good evening, YouTube. It's Mallow with George Page,
The Emperor of coming to you live on YouTube, folks. I hope y'all enjoyed your weekend. I enjoyed mine. I got to do a little live stream on Friday for the Tampa Bay Pro, and we're going to talk about that show, give our thoughts, critiques of it. I got a special gentleman here. You know him as this is my homeboy, my big brother, my main man. This is, or if you like to know him as Mr. Big Keith Williams, aka
What up, peoples? What up?
Hey, Chocolate Hope.
My man, my mellow.
He's out and about, folks, because he has a wife, and the wife gotta be shopping, But he's keeping
new
cool.
Bought a new house, so the house always needs something new in it. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I've been staying in the same place for almost pretty much 30 years, and at one point I thought I was going to move, but because I lived here so long, it grandfathered me in. So anyway, folks, as you know, we just had the Tampa Bay Pro last weekend, and one of the biggest shows for women's bodybuilding. It's going to be dry for the next couple of weeks until we have a couple of shows coming up, and that is the you have the I believe you have the Masters Olympia coming up, then you have the World Master Championship. And I think after that, you had the last show that is Olympic qualification for women's bodybuilding, and that is the Europa Championship in Spain. So it's the numbers getting fine. There's only you might say there's only really two shows as Olympic qualification. You do have Rising Phoenix. It is Olympic qualification, but as long as Andrea's there, no one's going to beat her. So anyway, we just had the Tampa Pro, one of the biggest shows, the Tim Gardner show. One of the few shows that, as I said again, that still gives women's bodybuilding a place, because a lot of shows doesn't have women's bodybuilding. They may have just like physique, or they have whatever division it feels like is still within the range of women's bodybuilding, like maybe figure, or even I would say figure and physique are the two that's still in a way still fashionably women's bodybuilding. You might see, I know you guys like bikini. To me, I don't do a lot of content on bikini. It's still kind of like, there's too much content wellness, but I'm willing to interview some of those ladies in the videos I have before. So anyway, we got my man Big Keith here. We will get his thoughts and his critique, because he's been a judge, he's been a competitor, he's a legend. He had nothing else to do, just sitting here just chilling. So anyway, we're gonna pull up some pictures here. I got some pictures here. I'm gonna pull up real quick. And this is from the women's bodybuilding. Right here, we have the top 4 competitors. It's actually 5. The number 5th competitor was, I think, who was it? It was Julia Furry, but Julia, I don't, she looked all right. But right here we have here from left to right, we have here number 4 is Keena Squarey, the winner, Michaela Aycock, Nikki Chartrand, we haven't seen for a couple of years, and this is the second show for her this year. That's Teresa Invasic. And my big brother, what you think? I mean, this top 4, in your opinion.
So I agree with this top 4. I actually read a post of Teresa saying like she was happy with her size, but she wanted to come in. She wanted to come in a little bit drier, which I agree, because she comes in drier, man. She's right there in the mix. It's one of these things. Again, my whole question is, what direction are we going with women's bodybuilding? Are we going, super hard? Are we going with a balance between super hard and some feminine, some sexy and femininity to go along with it? I don't know. I agree with the top. I would have who's your girl on the black again?
Nikki Chartrand.
Nikki, I would have had Nikki at first. Micaiah, here's the thing. I mean, I'm never gonna take away nothing from Micaiah, because she comes in unbelievably conditioned every show. But that's it. No size gets added. Nothing really changes about her. Like Christina Mendoza when she won Chicago, a couple weeks back. I can say Christina, great look, but never came in condition. She finally came in condition and won a title. But Michaela's condition, to me, in my opinion as a judge, is more that Iris Kyle, what they wanted to get away from look. And correct me if I'm wrong, people out there, but it's that Iris Kyle is kind of what was started the pushback for women's bodybuilding, and you can agree or disagree with me, but that's when it happened because people stopped wanting to look at women that hard. So remember, we were talking about the last podcast. What was Alicia Young, who was at Omaha, looked crazy, but she was too hard. She was too big, so she came in second. There was this big old debate online about that whole situation when they first brought women's bodybuilding back. Sean Ray words via Wings of Strength was, we're going with a little different look. Well, to me, they're going back to that same look. It's like, God, stick to a standard, stick to a rule, and keep that rule in place. The problem is when you got these judges, and that's the biggest part, you'll have this judge a show one way, you go to another show and the judge is another way. So it's like, what are we had this debate, George, for how long about what are they actually looking for? We don't know. I mean, we really don't know. It depends what that day is tooting, Steve or Tyler or Sandy's horn that day to figure out what they want. Because now I've seen two girls in two shows back to back in Chicago and Tampa that should be, if you have the point system, should be in Olympia, because that's like two wasted talented bodies if they don't compete no more this year. The girl who placed second to Christina, what was her name?
Jessica Martin.
And then you got Nikki. Now look at those two bodies. If these two girls don't compete, like if they don't go to Spain, because you said Spain, and what else is the last one to qualify?
Well, like I said, you really don't count Rising Phoenix as long as you got Andrea, because Andrea, that's an invitational. The Master Show, that's also invitational. So truthfully, the last show that's Olympic qualification is the show in Spain, because the remaining Muscle Fest is after the Olympia.
Well, and how sucky is that? Because now you got two, in my opinion, two highly qualified girls that should be on the Olympia stage that probably won't grace their presence on the Olympia stage because of win or get in or lose. And if you don't lose and go to Spain, I guess that'd be the last choice for them, or you're done for the season. That is just if you're trying to pump run like the girl Nikki and the other girl from Chicago, Nikki took a couple years off. The other girl took a year off or something like that. The girl who played second at Chicago.
Actually, they both took the same year off, but actually with Jessica, you should talk with Jessica on IG. She got sick. She had got the virus.
Yeah.
And she was out because that was after she got sick, right after she took second to Michaela at Omaha. And she got sick. I think she said she was going to do either, was it Tampa, maybe Chicago that year? I can't remember. But then she got sick, and then that took her out of the game. So they're both out pretty much 2 years, but just that Jessica was out a little longer than Nikki, because Nikki kept competing up to the Rising Phoenix, and then after that,
Yeah, but I mean, are we going to be two lost souls or two lost highly competitive girls that? I understand that you're not taking nothing away from Michaela, not taking away nothing from Christina, but man, these shows are so close. It's like, how aren't you the one, like we talked about last week, the one class that should have a little bit of wiggle room in the point system? It should be men's, I would say women's bodybuilding more than anything, and because of the limited amount of shows that they cut back on, and two, maybe men's bodybuilding. But we understand the big flood of men's physique, men's classic physique, women's bikini, women's figure, now wellness. We understand, and women's, I guess women's physique for that matter. We understand those classes are flooded with people, and that's what's causing this backlog at the Olympia and these big shows. Put a point system on that shit, because they have plenty of shows. The amount of shows, a bikini, a figure, a wellness, a men's classic physique, a men's physique, even a men's bodybuilding have to women's bodybuilding. It's no way that you should be taking and from a confident said, you'll see the point system come back next year because this is not going to work. Mm-hmm. And think about it. Just put it for women's bodybuilding, and look at where the numbers drop off at the MPC level and at the IFBB level. And those are the shows that you go with point system, because I think when we watched the Olympia last year, the men's physique had like 100 dudes on stage. What? It's like doing the
Because
same shit.
like I said this, when you have like 50, 60, 70, men's physique classic shows, men's physique shows, when you have like 100 bikini and wellness shows, but only division that's like has fewer shows than women's bodybuilding is fitness, because they almost maybe about 8 or
Yeah.
9 compared to because it seems like that's the division that's getting pushed out too. Because I did an interview with a lovely young lady a couple of weeks ago. She's a fitness competitor, and with physique, even though it still has a little bit more shows in women's bodybuilding, the numbers kind of dropped off too. Because there was a couple of shows that had it, but they dropped it, and then but still. There's still a lot more shows because even after this qualification, there's Texas Pro coming up in a couple of weeks. There's the show in Nevada, which is the Elite Sports Fest.
Yeah,
And then also sharing the stage with the Rising Phoenix, the Arizona Pro, and there's that show in Florida there, the Atlantic show. So that's technically 5 or 6 more shows than women's bodybuilding. Also, we're gonna show you this picture here. And this is where both Michaela and it was really close, in my opinion. Yeah, and it's just I think with Michaela, as you know, she always comes in shredded and conditioned. With Nikki, I think she had the height advantage a little bit. I mean, they say her delts were more dialed in compared to last year.
Yep. When you're looking at this picture, again, at the end of the day, when we're looking at it, it's like Nikki has that, now that I guess we have to see it from the back, but if we're looking, and again, it's tough, man. I mean, even Teresa dries out just a tad bit more. I mean, she's right there too. So this is, I don't know, man, George. I mean, think about it. You're looking at these top 4 girls, and that's good top 4 girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Teresa plays second, I think, in Toronto to a girl out here, actually in Springfield, Missouri, here on my area, neck of the woods. But look at all the talent that's going to be wasted if these girls can't get to Spain. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's absolutely. I mean, I don't know who got a hair up their ass to sit there and say, let's do the point system this year. And I'm guaranteeing you, from watching Olympia last year, it's because of that damn bikini or physique class. It's one of those things where the classes were too big. So how do we cut down and minimize the show? Well, cut those classes. We know that again, the sanction fees for those shows are not expensive. So we know that's what they're doing. But again, at the end of the day, you got to either put more shows in or use the point system for the women, because look at all that talent right there. Those 4 girls alone. There's not very many shows that we see that I've seen that even Tina competed in, where besides Worlds or the Olympia, with the top 5 girls or the top 6 girls, you're like, damn, this is tough. But now you're saying, damn, this is tough, and now somebody's going to be on the outside looking in with no chance of going to the Olympia because you got to win. That's sad. You got to win. And so how many girls are actually going to be in Olympia that qualify for Olympia this year?
Well, you cut like this with Hella dropping out because she decided she's not competing this year. It's gonna be at least about 10 to 11, as long as that one chick from Brazil, Oxenio, don't do the Europa show like she did. She last year she won the Europa show and turned around and did the Romanian Muscle Fest, and that was 2 shows that year. That was qualifications, and she already won her qualification at Spain. So if she does that show in Spain, that'll cut the number down to 10. But if she wins,
10 competitors in a class of women's bodybuilding, where how many was it last year? I mean, I don't even know how many was it last year.
It was listed about 21 to 22. It would have been 22, but Nadia Capasotto, she got sick because I remember she posted it. She was like, she actually did the because Tina, if your wife's there, she can tell you that after she did the Rising Phoenix, she got sick and she dropped out. She was the one who got qualifications. She won 3 shows, got qualifications twice that year in 2021, winning Puerto Rico, and turned around and winning the Romanian Muscle Fest for her next year's qualification. Then winning the Big Man Weekend. That was a show that also dropped women's bodybuilding. They dropped most of the divisions except for bikini and men's bodybuilding.
And again, like I said, the biggest thing with this whole thing is I would love to get these women's perspective on how they feel about this point system. I'm sure they pissed off about it because I'm sure, you're taking a year, like Michaela didn't take a year off, but Nikki did, the other girl took, because she was sick, and these girls, and they came back better, now, it's that whole saying as I've been competing for 14 years, they're like, oh, comparing apples to oranges. But if you're comparing apples to oranges, that should be a point system, not a fucking who gets it. No, excuse my language because it's a little irritating. Who fucking gets in by winning? That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, we got here, but man, KL the one, he's coming through. He says, "Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, there, KL."
What
And
up?
he said also, "Hella of a year." Yeah, yeah. Like I understand, some people say that the point system because for the older competitors, but many of the young competitors use it too, because you've seen some competitors doing 2 or 3 shows, stacking up points, getting the top 3, top 5, and that was nothing but qualification. And then, as they, top, it used to be for the last umpteen years, top 5 competitors that earned their Olympic qualification, but then they cut it down except for, I think, men's open and 212. They were only want to get top 5, everybody's top 3. But this is what should happen. That's this. Jake, he runs the Olympia. That's his show. He can talk to Jim Mannion, say, hey, Jim, why not make top 5 qualification back for women's bodybuilding? And also for fitness, because those are 2 oldest women's division in the sport.
The classes that you got to pump blood life back into is like, hit them with the AED machine. You got to pump life back into them because, man, think about what was it? When did Jake come back into bodybuilding? Like 4 or 5 years ago?
Almost, I would say about almost 8 years ago. Because
8 years ago when Wings of Strength got involved, and look of the plethora of attention that Wings of Strength got by Jake putting his money where his mouth is, and I understand he has other voices around him and stuff like that, but women's bodybuilding was great. I mean, it was getting back, and then again, if I am a president and the CEO of my company and shit's going to be ran my way, I understand Jim Mannion is the president and all this other shit, and Mannion Jr. and Steve, but at the exact same time, if I am the man, the money behind the machine, then the money behind the machine is going to have its say. And the things that, and I've had this conversation with Jake, and I'm just being candid. And like, sometimes you got to do things that you don't want to do, but you should do. And clearly the influence of men's bodybuilding and everything else that's going on with the MP or the IFBB and the NPC is now, trying to, I wouldn't say filter out, because if I was Jake, I would be pissed off as shit because I spent so money trying to get this sport back, and that was dying. And I understand he's looking at the whole pie diagram, sitting there saying, well, women's bodybuilding's here, but men's bodybuilding here. Here's the thing: at the end of the day, that shit is spread out all throughout the table because you have fans of all different kinds, not just men. And men's bodybuilding is, to me, no offense at all, it's beginning to be a fucking joke. Because it's not like, I respect the 90s guys. These guys these days, they're big as shit, and that's cool. But they don't, they're not the Dorians, the Kevins, the Seans, the Flexes, the Ronnies, the Jays, the Dexters, and those guys of this era. They're just not that, And it's one though, even Kai, Phil, sorry about disrespecting those guys and leaving those guys out. But again, at the end of the day, it's like these women like Helena and Margie are stepping away from the sport because here's the thing, it's like we talked about our last session. Some of these women are finding, like a Helena or Margie, are finding their niche in other places like Dana Lynn Bailey, like Kai Green, are sitting there saying, man, I'm working my ass off here, for this, but I'm seeing peanuts where I can do this and make more money and don't have to put my body through all this shit. It makes sense, right? It makes absolute sense. It's like Kai is like a Margie. Margie never won Olympia. Am I correct?
No, she's been like maybe the last couple of Olympias, top 3 competitor, top 2 competitor, never won. She's been a 2-time Rising Phoenix champion, but that's about it.
But it's like I think Margie, and I'm not speaking for her, but when I look at her situation compared to like Kai understood that they weren't going to let him win the Olympia. No matter what he did, No, and Kai's popularity within the bodybuilding community is a dude, George, that you can put him on this podcast and he'll talk your ear off all day long like I do. Seriously, because he's just that great of a guy. And people love him, and after Generation Iron came out, but then Kai started to sit back. And I remember, like I told you last week, I said, Kai sat there and says, man, I need to do something for myself in this sport because the sport ain't just, it's not going to just eat my ass alive. It's like Phil said in Generation Iron 1, these guys got to find something else to do, like the Arnolds, of the world, who's like, hey, bodybuilding's going to dry up, so what else am I going to do? And you see these guys going to alternative, sources of income, online training, all kinds of stuff. Because like I told the guy who was on your podcast last week, bodybuilding is a poor man's sport. It's a poor man's sport. And if it's a poor man's sport, how do you think women feel? Because they get paid half. So you dump all this shit, you dump all this money into it just to get half. Maybe you may break even, not unless you're Andrea or somebody, but you may break even. So it's just kind of sad, man, that that I know we touched on it, like RIP by women's bodybuilding last week, but it's kind of sad how they just are not doing what they need to do to keep these sports alive. You know why the NFL is so great? You know why the NBA is so great? You know why the MLB is so great? Because they're constantly doing things to keep the fans involved, and they're constantly doing things that says, how do we make it better? Have we really seen that with, besides them hyping up, oh, the venue is going to be great for the Olympia this year, and blah, 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 blah. Have we really seen the excitement that we really want to see out of the sport as a whole? No, because you got so many hands, it's like the NFL. You got 32 owners, right? But those 32 owners sit down and meet and says, this is what we need to have happen for this to be successful. This is what Jim Mannion, this is what Tyler Mannion, this is what Steve and Sandy need to do. Have a Zoom. Hell, we're in COVID where everybody was Zooming. Have a Zoom and say, if you're not on here, there's a problem, because they need to see everybody and says, this is what we're doing. But the problem that we're having nowadays with this sport is one judge this way, one show, you go to another show and another judge this way. And it's like, no, pass interference is pass interference. Offsides is offsides. Roughing the quarterback is roughing the fucking quarterback. A foul is a foul in basketball. A penalty is a penalty in hockey. Where is the fucking rules for the MPC and the IFBB where there's a guideline? Somebody show me a book. I've been 14 years in this shit. Somebody show me a book.
Yeah.
What we're looking for.
Well, the thing is, I know one lady told me that the fact is that they feel like it's too much that what the audience want, and they still at the same time they have to be concerned with the safety for the athletes. And if you talk about Jake was at Tampa. Here's a picture of Jake. And all I can say is, Jake, I want that money. I want that gun. I can't help it. I can't help it.
Jake is a great guy. Jake is a great guy. It's just, he's a very, I don't know. I know Jake, but he's a very soft-spoken person. He's very passionate about what he does for this sport. But I think he's being pulled in. Being pulled in some other directions by other people. Let's just say that are trying to wean him back away from women's bodybuilding, which you initially came here for, is to pump life, and it seems like now they're trying to suck life out of it. Or am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy, because you know what? It just seems like especially with not enough shows going on. The prize money, I saw that Michaela got $2,000 for Tampa. That's $2,000.
That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
$2,000?
Yeah.
$2,000? That's what's gonna cost. Here's a crazy thing. That's what it's gonna cost for me to fly myself, my daughter. I don't know what Wingstream does for Tina, and everything else to go to world championships. But $2,000, really? $2,000? Come on.
Yeah,
that work for $2,000? That's bullshit.
Yeah. Here we got my man here, J Warrior 1000. He says, Teresa Roxas had no chance of winning this show. Yeah, well, it's all depending. She did look kind of not as compared to Toronto. She did come a little better. Also, JW says, but I know Michaela would win this show coming in. Okay, she came, but it was still kind of close because Nikki did look a little better. Michaela went off of conditioning. That's what she went off of.
She always went off her conditioning. Not her size.
Yeah, and Nikki just had the better aesthetics here. Also, he says this. He says the competition is really lighting up and stacking up on the Miss Olympia. Not that many competitions because, like I said, we're going to have probably almost 10 to 11 women this show. And I know Jake might do a special invite for one of the ladies, maybe a couple of invites because that's a very low number compared to in the past.
Yeah.
And he says also, this is from JW, says Jake Woods is awesome, so is Tim Gardner. Shout out to them.
Yes, they are.
And also he says like this, not even 20K, freaking 2,000. Yes, because that the guys will probably get in men's classic, they might get 20K or men's physique, maybe. But usually the men's bodybuilder is going to get maybe 30 or 40 because that's the big money show. That's the big money division.
Well, Tampa is 10. I've competed in Tampa. Tampa's 10.
All right.
So Tampa's 10K. Nobody's getting 40K. That's why these guys got to run around and do so many damn shows. And that's what we talked about last week. It's like one of those things where, here's the thing, at the end of the day, I can save up to do one show and win 75 grand for being what? 5th place, 6th place. Or I can do all these shows for 10 grand and then burn out before I get to the Olympia. And that's what's going on now. These guys are like, nah, I'll save my juice for the Olympia or the Arnold, because those are two big shows, two big paycheck shows.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And these girls, like, I mean, Michaela, you know what she won for Tampa? 2 grand. That's just sad. That's just, I mean, that's a lot of work and suffering, and I mean, it's like, it'd be interesting to have one of these girls. I know Tina says some people do a lot because I love her. But shit, at the end of the day, do I really do? I just don't. I'm fighting for. I'm speaking in regards to. It's just ridiculous how much money that they pay you guys. That's just crazy.
Yeah. Well, let's get Big Brother break straight out his camera here. He says, "This is my man KL." He says, 2,000. That's nearly rent money for some or a bank account. That's not really a bank account for. You'd be lucky. I get that a month in my disability, and by the time I pay my rent and everything else, I don't even have that much left. Here, this is man JW says. The prize money for women is unacceptable. That needs to be upgraded on payment. Yeah, I think, like, especially your wife can tell you. That's the lovely Mrs. Tina S. Williams. She's a very beautiful woman, and it costs more for her to compete because if you think about it, she has to get her suits, her hair done, her not just the stuff for when you travel, you eating stuff, your other stuff like that. Also, you got to count in your hair, your makeup, everything else. It costs money to compete. But we'll plug in more back group. Also, we're gonna look at some pictures from, because I do talk about physique because I respect these ladies. They put in the working time. So we had the top 2 competitors for that show. We had Evie Rain. We had Miss Robin Mays, who I get an interview with. She's gonna be doing the Masters coming up this weekend. Jenny Feldman and I think it's the lady. She just turned pro a while back. Her name is. She's also Michaela. Her name is Michaela Lindsay, and this was the top 4 in women's physique. And as you know, the showdown was between Jenny and Evie.
Wow.
And they looked like, one thing is they look so much alike, especially look from the back and the shoulders. But I think
the blonde girl had just better definition in the hamstrings and the glutes.
Yeah, but here the thing is, the brunette girl, that's Jenny, she won.
Really?
Yeah, she won. I watched the live stream, and I was even talking. I've been talking to Evie. She wasn't very happy when she took second. She's been to Olympia quite a few times.
What took second?
The one right here. This is Evie Rain, or they call Ivy Rain, depending on where you go. She's from Brazil. Where's from Brazil? Jenny, she's right there. She's a local Florida competitor, just like
So the girl with the dark hair lost?
No, the one here, the blonde, she took second, and the one here she took first. She won last year because you were there. She won last year. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things. What did I say right away? The other girl was harder from the back, and depending if they want that, the glute striations, because the other girl was better, looked better from the back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think.
So, I mean, she looked better from the back, but again, it's one of those things like, is she too hard? Is she too soft? What is she? That's the question. That's the question that we have to ask ourselves. That's the frustrating thing is like, what do these girls are chasing after something, but do they really know what they're chasing after? That's the question.
Because I think the back has, like that's what has won. I think a couple of Teresa and Vosick shows was her back. Because I remember back in 2020 when she competed at the Chicago and Atlanta, it was between her and Rashana. Rashana
Yep.
always had a little bit soft in the glutes, and then she had a great overall physique, but still always issues in her back, especially her glutes. But one thing with I think with Teresa, she was a little soft in the front, but it was her back that won her the show.
Yeah,
And
remember that's the year that bumped Tina out by 1 point.
yeah, I mean, we talked about that. She had that 1 point. She would have been going to Olympia that year.
Yeah.
We got here from my man JW says, Tina Williams invited to the Rising Phoenix Pro. Yes, because Rising Phoenix / Arizona Pro. Yes, because I did a video about that. JW, you can check my channel. I talked about the list that's always out. Also, he says this. I didn't remember seeing her name on the list. It's on the list. Go check it. You can go to
Williams. It's the last name. Williams.
Williams. Go to Wing Strength. You can go to Wing Strength site. There's a list up there. Or you can go on my channel. Just search for Wing Strength list of 2023, and it's on here. And also, he says this. He says Jenny Feldman looks good. I'm a new fan. Yeah, I like Jenny. And also he says, even though I am Evie Rain fan, I respect Jenny. And you should. You respect all these ladies. And then he also says this. Do you see Jenny Feldman as a top contender? Well, no. As long as you have someone like, especially you have Natalia, you have most definitely Sarah, then you have Mona Ann Moon, then you have Brooke Walker. Now here's one of the big problems is that these shows she can get fifth if Parmesan doesn't make, because I think Parmesan might be doing the show in Spain, and maybe she might be doing also the Master Show. I think she's on the list for the Master Show. If Barbara can get in there, because Barbara Majan has been for the last 3 Olympias top 4 competitor, and if Evie can get 5th spot like she did last time, maybe it's all up what the conditions are gonna be. If she's gonna be. But this is the debate about. I was talking with her, and she's gonna do Texas, the Texas Pro. And this is the debate where we talk about how the guidelines between how women's bodybuilding and physique is getting so thin. And if you look at this, you have here, you got Teresa and Vosick, you got Julia Furry. Look at Julia. Yeah, wow. She was huge. She was only 5th. I don't know. I felt she may be a little higher. You got Michaela and you got Evie. You would think if you saw this, you would think this is the top 4 competitors in women's bodybuilding, not just 3 bodybuilders and a physique competitor.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah. Like I say, just look at it, because I think I can see most definitely, Michaela's going to win because of conditioning. I see Julia taking 2nd, and 3rd and 4th, is going to be between Evie and Teresa. And I think the push might go for Evie for 3rd place over Teresa.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And here's another picture with her standing with the champ. Well, if you look at between her and Teresa, it's just like I said,
Apples
not
to
too much.
oranges.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just that I think Teresa's got a little slight size, maybe a little bit. She never really had a lot of size in her legs.
Yeah.
But just a little bit more compared to Evie. Yeah, I did a comparison with Evie one time. I did one of my comparison videos. I did a comparison with her and Mela. How Mela had the same big, broad shoulders, and and the more tapered in the waist. And she said she's not going to go over the women's bodybuilding, but as long as she can make top 5 in the shows and still qualify, she's going to stick with physique. So anyway, we got here a couple coming in here. We got here my man. This is from man JW. He says, "What about Emily Sherbert? Isn't she a top contender at the Miss?" Oh yes, I forgot about Emily Sherbert. Now Emily,
Yeah.
I did. If you follow my channel, I did a comparison video with her. I'm going to see. I'm going to pull it up real quick. I'm going to show some. I'm going to show you a little bit. And it was a comparison between her and Michaela. And to tell you the truth, my man KL, he saw it, and you couldn't, like I said, even though I what I did was I wanted to use a show from Tampa, but the problem was, they didn't have all the poses for the Tampa. She was short a pose that I usually like to use in women's bodybuilding, and that is I wanted to do because I think Emily did the front and rear lat spread at the Omaha, but the problem was, they didn't have the I think didn't have the for the Tampa, they didn't have the abdominal thigh pose. Nope. So I I don't know why who forgot to take the picture for that. So I had to go with Michaela from Atlanta, would have had pretty much the other poses, but didn't have the front and rear lat poses. So I'm got it up here. I'm gonna put it up, and it's because I'm gonna see. We'll set up a little bit.
Try to always see things that or people that will fit each other. Sometimes I might miss the mark now and then, but this one here, I think I'm really close. And even though they're in two different divisions, they share so much in common. They actually earned their pro card originally in physique, but one switched up to women's bodybuilding, and the other one she's still in physique. You recognize these ladies, and I've talked about on my channel and also on my made content about them. This is right here. We have here one. Saying the criteria keep changing for physique, where some of these are getting closer and closer to women's bodybuilding. Man, I know they want to stay in because they feel like that's the vision of workers, but when you develop and grow as an athlete, you should really go someplace where you fit. But she made an Olympic qualification this year, so she can still stick with physique. Here we have the front double. But I look at it, very, very impressive. Good lines. I would say with the sides, I had to get it truthfully to Michaela. Development, I'm more closer with Emily. I mean, she can really, if she ever went over bodybuilding, she probably could hold her own with some of these women in bodybuilding.
Oh yeah.
But if you go by looks alone, truthfully, you go with Michaela. Here we have the side chest. Now, both ladies got good development, like about the shoulders and the delts. The better overall look has to be Emily. You can see how her more striated her shoulders are. You can see the delts are better detail. I mean, look at the lines, her quads, she was in great condition for a show. She took second to Natalia Quayle this show. She should have, some feel like she could have won the show. Here we have is the rear double. And I was looking to find this picture of Emily doing a clenched fist, the more typical pose you usually see in bodybuilding. And from the back, even though Michaela just has the width and she has good definition, she was a little off at Atlanta. That's why she lost to Mela. I'm going to say that here. With no doubt, it has to be Emily. Look at the quads. Yeah. Look at her definition. Look at her glutes, her shoulders, her back. I mean, she has bigger quads than some women, and I would say good many women in the bodybuilding division. I mean, this one would probably kill for her legs.
Yep.
Here we have the tricep here. This is close here. I would say if I give this to anybody. I feel like I got a blowout. Conditioning is just on point. And it has to be Emily. I mean, like I said, truthfully, even though she took second to Mela at Atlanta, and she looked pretty good, that Michaela was just a little bit off. She was a little bit off. I think she could have won the show if she came in just in better conditioning. But that was a test show, and she did better in Tampa. But like I said, this is got to be Emily. Here we have the abdominal thigh pose. Truthfully, like I said,
Emily.
To size, that's where Michaela gets it. But the conditioning, she need to make improvements at. I mean, like I said, this was an off show, and she popped back up in Tampa. Emily looks great. I mean, good. You can see the definition in her abdominals, good lat development. She needs to work on this pose a little more. But like I said, this is some ladies say this is the most difficult pose, the ab and thigh pose. And like I said, I feel like this is pretty much a near way blowout. I have to go with Emily, with no doubt about this. Emily looks great.
Yeah, I mean, tell you the truth, this is where if she wanted to, and I don't know, she may not because she feel comfortable more in physique. She could really, she could now like my man JW says she's gonna be a top contender in the physique division. She might push up to 3 or 4, especially if someone like Barbara Majan doesn't make the show, and you still have Ann Moon. A lot of the ladies that won the shows. You got Jenny. You have Amy Macau. You got another lady, Miss Danny Martin, Dr. Danny Martin. Those women, I don't think they stand a chance. They might can crack the top 10, but they look like they just don't have it all. This is from my man KL. He says nice picks with those 4 women. Yeah, that's nice picks. You can go check out my community section. I got it posted. Also, this is from JW. I had to defend Emily Schubert on social media because the insufferable ignorant trolls came out the woodwork to come after her. Muscular look. I roasted all of them like flies. She thanked me too, and that's good because you know what? She does need that. She does need that support. She just did an interview with fit rock star Isabel Terrell, and women like that, they need that support. It's tough, but like I said, it's just what this show, the Tampa show, it was a good show, and I like I said, some of the ladies I've been talking to the after show. One lady saw that I posted. If you go check my IG, I posted a lot of stuff about the show, pictures and stuff. She said she really liked that because we might be doing an interview sometime soon with her. I'm not going to name the names yet. And some other ladies who saw it, they really liked the fact that someone was talking about them, and it don't get talked about enough. And that's the tough part about it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We get here from my man JW. He says, internet troll came after Andrea Shaw. Who come after my woman? Who? Your girl,
That's
George.
my second wife. What y'all talking about? That's my
That's my woman. That's my girl. Me.
What do you? Here's the question. What are you gonna say about Andrea Shaw?
Yeah, he said he was
the classiest chick I know.
Yeah, me and some other bodybuilding fans went hard on this guy. He couldn't respond. We support these ladies, and because this is typical. Yeah, it don't make sense how people like to come at these ladies. They got nothing to do but want to pick on them because they got muscles, they got this, they got that, and they just got nothing left to do with their lives. And come on, these are good women. You got to respect them. Something happened to my big brother. He had to drop out for a minute, and we're gonna go here. He'll be back. He'll be back. Also, we got here from Jenny, looking fantastic. Still think she should compete in the women's physique though. I don't know. TRVR. Jenny, she's still a bit undersized. She just don't have a lot. Between Jenny and Evie, Ivy, if you want to go with it, they still need some work with the legs. They have great back and shoulders. I will give them that. But their weakness is really in their, they're just not as dense when it goes down to the other half. And that's why they stick in physique, because they know if they want to get to survive women's bodybuilding, they had to put on more size. And this is something that neither one of them are willing to do. Yeah, sir. Also, he says, yeah, you right. Yeah, I know I'm right. So we're gonna keep talking for a while till my brother comes back. He probably had to go in the house, with the wife. But we're gonna, look at some more social media stuff that's going on in the world. I might pull up, give me a minute, because I am, I'm not that fast on the computer. But it was like I said, it was an impressive lineup. And these competitors, I gotta give respect because it's a tough, and the show is, we're gonna have not many shows coming up for the next couple of weeks until we have the show in the Master Show in Romania. And this is from man. This is from my man JW says both Evie and Jenny are beautiful, drop gorgeous. I mean, drop dead gorgeous ladies though. Yeah, and they're both are moms and wives. They're married. Also, this is from my man TR. He says glad to see Nikki Chartrand back. Yeah, it's good to see Nikki Chartrand back. As you know, she was staying here in the States because she was only straight from bicycle for the last 2 or 3 years. But then when the basketball program got shut down, she had to move back to Canada because there was nothing holding down here because with the basketball program, they kept her active. She was traveling, going to shows like that. But the basketball program gone, she wasn't selected for I think she wasn't selected for last year's Rising Phoenix, or I think she put an application in because I think she was moving by then. So she's took that couple years off, really grow and develop. I think if she can do the show in Spain, I don't know. I know some ladies I talked to said it costs too much to travel all the way to Spain, and some women feel like it wouldn't be worth it, especially you got, like I said, I remember when Tisha Thomas did the Romanian show about that was like 4 or 5 years ago before she retired for bodybuilding, and she got, you remember, you can watch it in her I'm Tigress documentary how she got sick, and it took her a good while for her to recover and to shake off those the blues. But I want to give a shout out to a couple of you ladies who competed at the show, and they did pretty good. Both made their both they made they pro debut this year. One already did. This was one's the second show. This one was a brand new pro. Just was pro just barely a month ago, and that is Salika Given and Taylor Iraqi. And here they are with my woman. That's my woman. With my woman Andrea Shaw. Both are beautiful ladies. I think Taylor, she has a good future. If she's gonna stick with women's bodybuilding, I don't know. She might maybe take a year off and really put on more size. She looks pretty impressive. Everybody keep talking how she had no competition for the Miss International. They gave her the title. Well, she was there. She won it, and a win's a win. Like Vin Diesel said, be a yard a mile. The win is a win. So because she has great physique, she has great muscle. Just need to bring conditioning. I think she's gonna. She lives. She might want to do. She might try to do another show. As there's the Masters World coming up. That's right there in Pittsburgh. And Taylor, she has a bright future. There's my woman Andrea. Just chilling out here. There is the lovely Miss Robin Mays. She won a women's over 55. I think she took third in women's at the main show. Yeah, I think she took third in the main show. And that is Taddy Cuejo. Some dudes. And that's about it. We don't care about the dudes. And but it was a good show. And Jake, Tim Gardner, he put out a show out. There goes a lady there goes Jenny Feldman, and there goes our dear friend Miss Daphne Holmes. Daphne looked great. Daphne was competing in women's what I should call women's. I should call this is wellness. No need to add women's to it. Just say wellness. Daphne looked great. It was great to see her come back. She hadn't competed in a good while, and she switched over to wellness. And now she's back. Michaela here. I mean, I don't know. I'm still debating if she deserved to win or not. But I know it's always what the judges want to go by here. We have here man, KL. I gotta admit, I know I get on you with the Joker. I'm not going to stop, but I feel that background looking good, cool. I just noticed. Thank you, hater. Like I said, I love Joker. All right, gonna say. Okay, he also we have here from TRVR. Who's your top picks for Women's Masters Olympia? Which one you want to talk about? Physique or women's bodybuilding? Because well, TR, I think possibly I would say winning the show is going to be Shauna Boswell. Taking second is Donna Sleeve. And third is going to be I'm going to throw Leah Denny. I think Rashad's going to win the show. Donna's going to take second, and Leah Denny's going to take third. Women's physique, I think Evie. Now Evie's going to do Texas, but she can do the show. Evie can win the show. I think Carolina Alvarez might take second, and third. I want to say my dear friend Miss Robin Mays, possibly somebody else do it, but that's up in the air what the judges are looking for. Also, he says, as JL says, George, you got to put a ring on it. That's your woman. Why got to put a ring on it? Why can't she just be my woman? You know, I can't afford no ring. I'll give her a little simple, I'll take a piece of tinfoil and make a little ring on it, put it on her finger. But you know, she's still my woman. You know. Also, we got here. JW Warrior says, I don't understand how a lot of these insecure, insolent men think these bodybuilding women are men when they are beautiful ladies who are wives, mothers, grandmothers, and aunts, and they have children. Because the fact is, people don't understand that these are women. They still, the mindset is that they see them as something not feminine. You know, they're not used to the idea of women with muscle. That's just society in all the whole. JW says this. He says, Andrea is your woman, George, while Mela is my woman. Have her. I love her so much. Well, here's the thing: is sometimes you can't. It doesn't hurt to have her more than one. And I also like Mela too. JW, and she's my side girl. I mean, like this. Andrea is my wife. Mela is my side woman. She's my side piece. You ever heard that song? I left home to be my side piece. Also, this is for TR. It says, Jay Ware, I agree. I honestly think most men are actually attracted to muscular women, but society norms make it hard for them to admit it. Well, that's also true, but generally, not I would say most men. It's just many of them guys still not cover the idea of women with muscle, and says that. But you guys can dream. That's the thing, KL. Dreams is a wonderful thing to have. She has dreams. So I don't know if my big brother can come back or not. If you're interested, I know one day I think Roy wanted to come on when I did my live stream, but it was too late. He missed it. But I might do an invite. Maybe if he doesn't come back, because I miss having a partner every now and then. And if you want to check out, give me your thoughts, share your opinions on how did you see the Tampa show? Did you like Tampa show? I hope we have it back next year, because it's one of the few shows that still have opportunities for women's bodybuilding, or also just to discuss some stuff that's coming up. As it's going to be kind of dry for women's bodybuilding, but we do have a little bit more shows for women's physique. So if you want to just give me your thoughts and critiques, like I said, won't be on too long. And I hope my big brother's all right. I mean, he might have something that came up, so he had to take care of that. Respect my big brother, Mr. Big Keith. Shout out to him. But it's just, this was a pretty good show. I got to watch it. If you go to my YouTube channel, you can find that I did a little live stream. Also, if you go to my IG channel, it's recorded. We got here my man KL the Wanderer. Before we came here, we got here. JW says, I guarantee you, these men who hate on these women because they are muscular, spent on hour with them, and one day they would, we consider their position if they give them a chance. Yeah, I think just treat them as like a lady. Talk to them. And also, here we go. A dream can't come true. Dreams can't come true. Well, it can't come true if you want to make them, KL. And we're going to talk to you about that. Here he is right now.
Yeah, you talking about dreams coming true.
Quit being a hater. Sometimes you gotta let this one thing that some people have in life. You live the dreams come true. If you can make
I believe one day I had a dream.
That's you. That's you.
Well, you dreaming that Andrea Shaw be your wife?
What can't I? What can't no man? She's a beautiful woman.
Shit.
Honestly, she's a beautiful
Yeah,
woman.
I see a lot of beautiful women, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I be
But
dreaming about that. I can't. That shit. I don't know if that's gonna happen. But
well, I know it's
I'm
not.
gonna be positive. I'm gonna be
Well, like I
positive.
said, sometimes I remember it was an old cartoon. It was an old Looney Tunes cartoon with the cat, and it was a doll of another cat, a female cat. The dog was using to try to get after the other cat, and at the end of it, there was a little bird said, "Hey, Mister, she's not even real." He says, "I can dream, can't I?" Yeah. But did you get to watch in the show or anything from Tampa, or you just was on? What's your thoughts?
Nah. I just seen the stuff that you post. That's it. I'm not. What? Like, how would I get through that on the live stream? Like, I'm kind of ignorant on live streaming, on
Well,
streaming all that stuff.
well, it's not that hard. If you like, when I do my live streams, like just like we do on on here, what I did was I had set up the I wish I had one of those where I had the two computers where I just set it up and just every so often went in because I didn't want to show too much to show because you gotta be careful, copy infringement rights and like that. But I can show little clips every now and then.
Yeah.
And what I did was I took my phone and I recorded it. The rest of the show you
Yeah, I
can go
remember
to
that.
my IG and you can see the recording of it. And I just show little clips on here on IG. I just kind of did a little hack, just trying to get some guys, because I know you guys like to
Yeah,
watch.
yeah. I seen your stuff, and I seen the girl that you like, Danielle Willis.
Daniel Willis. Yeah, she
Yeah,
she 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 did
yeah.
the
She did. She was hosting on the pro, the Tampa Pro, like who's gonna win, and
mhm.
what's her name, Michaela Acock. She won it and stuff. That's all I seen. I seen that, and then I seen a little bit of your stuff, but I didn't see too much. But I seen her stuff, and I think that was it. And then I just seen the post that you did and stuff. So
Yeah, because because like I said, I was thinking about doing one for a while. I know somebody said, "Hey, George, you gonna do a live stream on a show?" I said, "Well, since it's first of the month, it's a good time. Right, I had a little because I had to get my car worked on. I still got some work I could do on this car. Oh my God, it's just, uh, but it's one of the things I needed to take care of. I got took care of that when I had the money. I said, you know what, I'm gonna take a little
yeah,
from everybody I got and go ahead and it'll cost a streaming costs about only about almost about $40 after taxes. And I just watched the stream. I watched so much. Watched up to some of the figure, and then after that, I said I was done. I was just gonna just watch physique and was bodybuilding. And I said, we'll look at some of the figure girls. And, there's some all right ladies. There's one lady I'm talking to right now. She competed at the show, and I'm hoping we'll get an interview with her sometime soon. A couple of ladies who competed at TAP also. You might get some ladies that just reached out to me. One lady, she saw what I was doing on IG, and she said, she would like to interview. She just got, she's right now in the middle of a prep, and she said she want to wait till things settle down, and then she'll, reach out to me. But yeah,
no, that's
it's just
cool.
something. Yeah, it's cool. And you had a couple of interviews. You got one coming tomorrow. So share who's
No,
your interview tomorrow?
actually, it's supposed to be tonight at
Oh,
six.
tonight.
I mean, at the seven, at seven after 7:05 or something like that.
Oh, okay,
I
yeah.
met this person at the other place I was at.
hmm The Velvet Row.
Yeah, I was at that. I seen but really, tell you the truth, I reached out to them before, but they responded, but they wasn't sure they wanted to do it because I think they was telling me that they never did an interview before or something like that. So I just left them alone, and then I seen them there, but I didn't know that was the person that I reached out to. But I'm looking at this person, I'm checking them out. I'm like, damn, she look nice.
hmm
And then I kind of I seen the I seen I went to the Velvet Roll page and stuff, and then I seen who she was. I was like, okay. And
hmm
so we supposed to have done it Wednesday, but she just dropped she moved on me and stuff. So hopefully tonight, you know, if anybody stay tuned, whatever. If it happens, it happens. Not,
All right,
you know. So
make it happen. If it happens, happens. It is what it is. This
yeah.
is from man TR. He says, "Kale, who are your top three favorite female bodybuilders of all time?" Who's your favorite KL? I mean, I think you mentioned
Was my
before.
favorite.
Yeah.
I don't even know who's my favorite. I like. There's a lot of women I like.
Well, just name three that you like, and that's it.
Okay. I like Linda Murray, of course. Corey Everson, the old school, because that's how and Tina Lockwood, Tina Lockwood,
Okay,
Tina
there you
Lockwood.
go. There you go,
That's the
TR.
old
Says,
school. I just know the old school guys. That's it. I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
all right.
That's
See, yeah, TR says like this. George not a fan of wellness. Come on, man. Well, I'm somewhat a fan, but like I said, I don't do a lot of content on wellness. That's a big difference. I
this
kind of,
this
it's just
now like I heard. I'm sorry.
wait, just stop. Okay, all right. I do like like I said, I see it as as an inversive division. They brought it in because they wanted to bring in more attention, but still not trying to help the divisions that are there. And that's bodybuilding, physique, and even figure. But like I said, I do as a guy, I do kind of my eyes do kind of look at because it's I'm like to I'm an ass man, and that's one of my favorite parts. I'm not a big boob guy, but
Yeah.
I do like a nice shape, a nice little apple bottom, nice little peach. Some women they have more like a pumpkin than a peach. Especially
I'm not I'm not so particular about the like bodybuilding. I mean, I see like different aspects of it. Like there's women that I like in wellness, figure, and bikini and stuff like that. I mean, if they look nice to me, they look nice to me. It's not. I mean, yeah, the muscles, the muscles of the bodybuilding division fascinating me. But I see other women from other divisions and they look really nice. And there's this
hmm
woman, her name is Lily Dong, and I think she does figure wellness, something like that.
wellness.
And she has a nice wellness, yeah, and she has a nice physique. I really admired her physique, and her
I see
ass
your
just
post.
sticks out. Yeah, I'll be kind of crazy for her a little bit, but she don't show me any love, so I said forget it.
Well, the thing is, like I said, sometimes it's not always what you're gonna get out of these ladies. They have to deal with, a lot of people have prejudice against them, and she does, she has a nice figure, pretty face.
Yeah.
She worked hard to get to where she is now. I'm gonna do this for a favor for my man because, like I said, I don't put a lot of stuff on the wellness girls, but this is for KL because I know he's a big fan of hers. And
Okay.
I'm on her IG right now, KL.
All
Oh
right.
yeah.
Yeah, she
Okay.
look
Yeah.
nice, man. Especially when she
Yeah.
be wearing them skirts, man. I'm like, damn. Look at them legs, bro. Like, look at them legs. They
Yeah.
look nice.
Yeah. She said she like KL say, me love you long time, KLA. Me be so
Yeah.
horny. Me love you long time. Look the quads.
That's being on me. That's what being.
I know, but come on. It's not too far from each other, Vietnam and Philippines.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, like I said, she has a lot of potential. She's qualified for the
Yeah.
Olympia this year, so it's all depending on how she goes. Usually, the winners are usually going to be a lot of the Brazilians and women, Caribbean women who win the shows. Some women do pretty well. Not too, I think it's been the last couple of the top five have been Brazil or from the Caribbean
All right.
because they have those strong black aesthetics, and that helps out. And if you don't have those natural black aesthetics, like black women, Latina women, meaning Latina women have Afro in them. They have the thicker thighs, especially women from like countries like Brazil, the Philippines, not Brazil, Brazil. Countries like Cuba, the island countries like Puerto Rico, like that.
Yeah.
Those women have those Afro aesthetics, and that's why they do so well. This is here from my man, JW says, I dream Mila is my wife. Don't hate KLA. No, we don't hate you. Also, here he says this. He says, Tina Lockwood. I'm a big old school fan too. Yeah, I like Tina. She's just amazing. Also, Daniel Willis is good commentator. She's doing great. She says she might come back and compete maybe a couple years, but I think what she's doing right now Women need that voice. She like how the female body channel, you know, and
Yeah.
I think they're not in some good terms right now because I heard some stuff, and what's this shit? You got nothing else to do. Playing with dolls, playing with dolls.
I'm fucking with you, man. Hold on for a
Yeah.
second.
All right. All right. We're gonna hold on for a second. Also, we have here. This is from my man TR. He says my top three: Debbie Bromell, Debbie Ninsky, and Diana Solomons. But they could change any given day. Yeah, Debbie Bromell, Washington, beautiful woman. She had a lovely dark complexion, the curly hair, great muscle. Debbie Ninsky, very attractive, very blonde. Diana, she was just huge. I think she did compete as a pro for a year or two. Those amazing women. They could have really have gone far if but you know how it is. Also, this is from Lily Dawn Cavs are out of this world. They are. And also, this is from JW says Linda Murray, Kim Zvetsky, and Laura Craval. I love Laura Craval. Love Laura Craval. I think if I go old school, Vicky Gates, Laura Craval, and Heather Foster. I'm going Heather Foster. No. I'm gonna swap out Heather Foster for Rosemary Jennings. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Rosemary Jennings. So excuse me for us. So anyway, folks, we aren't here too much longer. My man KL stepped away. We was holding up to see what he wants to do or say. But as you said again, this was a good show, Tampa. And, I feel like, because I saw Danielle, she was doing the commentary early this morning. It was like 8 o'clock. It started the show, I think, 8 o'clock. It was really early. But, it was a decent lineup. We have here, this is what JW says, in fitness, I have crush on Oksana Garcia. I remember her, I think I did an interview with Arnold. She mentioned her. She's a Russian physical competitor, Olympic competitor. Figure is Latoya Watts. I have a question. If how about JW? Who's your crush in physique? I think who I like in physique. I like. I'm a fan of Brooke Walker. Brooke Walker she has a great look. She's very beautiful. Very Barbara Majan. I'm a fan of her. Being really cool with her. Who else do I like in physique? I might say, I'm trying to think of. There's some great ladies. I would say the ladies I've become friendly with. Like people like Daphne Holmes. It used to be Daphne Carter, Daphne Holmes, and also Miss Robin. A couple.
You did an interview with her, right?
Oh, which one?
Daphne Holmes.
Yes.
Okay.
She was. Okay. It was back when she was Carter, and I'm planning on this weekend. We're going to do it. Me and her husband. We're going to have an interview because they got married a while back. We followed Daphne.
Oh yeah.
And Daphne was competing. Okay. Yeah, Daphne was competing in wellness last year. She did a couple of shows. She did Tampa last year in wellness, and she did the Arizona Pro in wellness. She was competing both in. Also she competed in Tampa. She was competing in women's over 40. You see it pull up here. She looked great. I mean, like I said, I'm a fan of Daphne. I mean, she, great physique. I mean, killer arms. She has killer guns. And, she's really cool with Jenny Feldman because Jenny Feldman trained her when she was competing. And, and it was good. She was showing support to her friend and teacher. Let me see if I can pull up. I think somewhere here, let's see. I think I can go to, let me go to my IG and see if I can pull it up. It was great. She was showing support to her friend and teacher. And, these ladies, I gotta give respect, one lady who I'm confronting with told me something that another competitor was saying that she was top 3, and that was Chris Goy, and she is from Spain.
Oh yeah, I remember. I wanted to talk with that. Yeah, I wanted to talk with her, but she don't speak English.
Well, that's not true. She speaks pretty good.
That's
English.
not true. Get the fuck out of here.
she's been living here for quite some time.
Yeah,
She's
I know.
established.
Yo, you're right. I believe you too because like how I mean, how you gonna? You've been there for a while and not know a little bit English. So I don't know. Like, she probably don't feel like confident about her English or something. It's either that, but I don't know, or
Well,
something else. But
she took top three. It's just in women's overall. No, she took
yeah,
top three in women's over 40. Shalika, the lovely, amazing Shalika, um, Giving won that division, that class, and she took number three. Number two, I believe, was Keena Squarey. Number four, I believe, was Patty Corbett, and number five was Monica Vega. And these are very impressive ladies. And then
yeah.
also, we see there was, let's see, I'll put this up here. Also, you
It's like
had
I was gonna say it's like I gotta do a comparison video to get these women attention now.
well, you don't have to. You can do what you feel like you want to do, you know. But
No,
like I
no,
said,
that ain't for me. I'm not a speak. I'm not a talker, man.
well, the thing is, you're doing interviews. You got to talk. Now, also, Squarely took over 50. Then Patty took over 55. You know, and then this is Maria Croker. She took over
Who?
40. Maria, her name is Mariana Croker. She would win
Coco.
physique. And Robert Mays took over 50 and over 55. Robin looked pretty good. I think she took second or third in women's over 40, and also she took third in the overall show. But Chris Coy actually took seventh in the overall show. And and
Okay.
someone sent me the video where I couldn't see
So
Sarah. So
I'm gonna ask a silly question, but why it's like top three was
well,
she's part of.
she's top three in women's over 40.
Oh, okay.
That's just another class. Open class is
Okay.
open class is Olympic qualification, meaning she
Okay.
didn't she only took seventh place, meaning she don't get in the prize money, and then as you know she don't get to go to Olympia. You have to win, and you make top three, you get the prize money.
Mm.
She only got seven in open, but she did make some money by taking third at women's over 40. I think she made it like maybe about $200 or $300 from that show.
Mm. Two or three
And
hundred dollars, you said?
yeah, because the Masters, shows don't get a lot of money.
Yeah.
They
I,
mostly
I don't know what to say about that.
their money mostly
That's
comes
like my
from
paycheck. 300, $400. That's my paycheck.
their, their money comes from when they because in Masters you have to pay to compete. I was
Yeah,
talking to one
yeah.
lady. She was telling me that she was going to do physique, but also she started to do women's bodybuilding too. She had to pay. She had to pay within a certain time, so she able to qualify to compete in women's bodybuilding in Masters. She did women's over 55 in Masters and 155 in bodybuilding and in physique. Yeah, we got here. This is from TR. So TR says, oh Lord, yes, Rosemary Jennings. Yeah. Also, he says, this is JW saying, in wellness, Yisha Alia Moy Fuego, meaning very hot. I love her. Yeah, I
Oh,
think.
muy fuego.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think she does. Yeah, she does. Wellness. I don't know if she's competing this year.
Mm.
She's been Olympic competitor before. Also, Brooke Walker is my girl too. You got a lot of girls there. JW. Yeah, Brooke is pretty. But it's like this with Masters, you have to pay to compete. It's not like with the
Yeah.
open shows. You just gotta sign a contract and bring it and send in that contract, and you're part of the show. You make the list. With the Master,
Mm.
you have to pay, and you can if you pay by a certain time. I remember she told me she had to she was already there at the show. She already paid for her physique qualification, but she said she had to pay with her master qualification by 2 o'clock. And she was there by Wednesday. The master show was on Thursday, so she had to pay
Yeah.
that before 2 o'clock that Thursday, or that 2 o'clock, no, 2 o'clock that Wednesday, so she can be put on the list for women's bodybuilding over 55.
Yeah.
But the money that from that goes for, if you get enough competitors in there, that money is the money that's used to pay the winners of their classes.
No, I don't know what to say.
When you're a pro, when you're amateur, you have to pay because there's an
Yeah.
interest fee. You have to pay interest fee. But then when you hit the pro levels, you don't have to pay. You just have to sign a contract and turn it in, and you're part of the show. But if there's a show that has a master's class in it, and you want to compete in masters, you have to pay the promoter the right to compete as a master competitor.
Mm.
And really, a lot of these shows have amateur shows, and amateurs, like I said again, have to pay to compete. Usually, some of that money comes from the amateur interest fee, and also comes from the sponsors who put money towards the show, and just paying the promoters to use they have to put their place their product. Like you see, like something like Raycon, something from this product company, they're paying the promoter for that. It's not coming from the promoter's pocket. It's coming from the sponsor's pocket. And like I
So
said,
if I no, I got you. Like so, if like let's say either one of us we do like we're amateurs, so we got to pay $400 to
well,
to to
actually, it's like about $300 in some cases, depending.
300.
That's per each division you choose. So you
Yeah,
might be paying up to $400 to $600 per
yeah.
division, because you might
I
you
couldn't
say
be nobody, bro.
that's why it's not very lucrative sport. That's why they have to say, they want the opportunity. Okay, I want to get my pro. Now there's national shows, regional shows will qualify you for national shows. The
Yeah,
regional shows just shows that you just get to just help you get to the national shows, which gets you your pro card. Like something like the USA's was about a couple of weeks ago, Junior USA's, nationals, junior nationals. North Americans is coming up at the end of the month. They had the Teen Collegiate show in Pittsburgh about a couple of weeks ago. There's quite a few. There's Olympia amateur. Those are national qualifiers, which you can get your pro card. And then these other shows are just regional shows. You just win and qualifies you for nationals.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you want to be certain you want to get a chance that you want to try to get my pro card, maybe pick a division that works for me, or you might do two, or sometimes you can do three. It's going to cost you a lot of money, and then
Yeah.
you just pick what national show you want to do. Like you did an interview with Brittany Parrish. She says she's going to do the North Americans at the end of the month.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think Hannah Hussein says she's going to do also the North
yeah,
Americans, and
yeah,
I think some others are thinking about doing the Olympia amateurs, and then some might do the nationals coming out in December, and that's after the Olympia.
yeah. Okay.
So yeah. So folks, we educated the man a little bit. It's some understand how things going on. Like I said, the Tampa show was a good show. I watched the finals. I missed the prejudging, but I did see a little clip from Danielle Willis. Shout out to Danielle. She's an amazing lady, and also, like the other guy was say, she is beautiful. I know you hate him. Hey, get that clown out of here. Get that clown out of here.
Hey,
Get that clown
how
out of
you
here.
doing? How you doing? How
Get
you
that clown out
doing?
of here. Get that clown out of here. Get that clown out of here. He's not here. This is my show. No clowns. The Joker's not a clown. He's an artist. He just has his style.
Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do that with the women sometimes. Hey, how you doing? I was thinking. Yeah. I was thinking. You know who I was thinking about doing that to? I wanted to do it to Hannah Hussein, but it was a lot. Like, I was like excited at the time. I didn't want to fuck it up. I knew she would have liked it. I knew she. I think she would have liked it. You don't think so? You don't think so?
Sometimes you have to with some women who are very cool and got a good sense of humor. Okay, others
Yeah.
you gotta pick and choose.
Yeah, I know.
But then some of these ladies just have good sense of humor, And if you do it, but I think it's better off just put them on like a screen, so like that, like I do with the Joker, because hey, I don't have to grab a thing. I just pull up my alter identity. Just come out
Yeah.
and just like talk to her, and I just tell them that they are, just beautiful, and I just, They complete me. It takes work.
I hear you.
It takes
Yeah,
work.
I hear you. I hear you.
So, folks, I like to shout out my man Big Keith. Something must have happened. I might try to reach out to him maybe see maybe someone with his phone or something with going on at the house. He's a great guy. We enjoy being on here and having him on here dropping his knowledge. I like to thank you, KL,
How
for
long he
tuning in.
been? How long? I'm sorry. How long he been bodybuilding?
Like I
Like
say, it's been nearly 15 years.
15 years.
Yeah, you
How
gotta
long he
think about
was
it.
doing that? How long he been doing the football how long his
Seven,
football
seven,
career?
well, his pro career was 7 years, and then you got to think about it. Growing up, he probably had at least nearly 20 years worth of football on his belt. Think about when you start
Okay.
football, you start young, and then you go through high
Yeah.
school and college, and then and you play in the pros. So that's like at least almost 20 years of football on his belt. But like I said, he's a great guy. Enjoy talking with him. I mean, a while back he had a bad accident. That was about a year ago. He still have some issues. He had surgery about a while back. He's doing a little bit better. They just moved to a new house. They was out about
Yeah.
shopping. And Tina, she's competing at the Rise Phoenix this coming. I think it's in September, I believe.
Okay.
Support Tina Williams. Support also my man. Big Keith. He's not on social media too much. Sometimes it's stress of it, but like I said, there's a lot of debates about who's gonna place well in Olympia. I have my thoughts, and everybody knows what my thoughts is. I don't see anybody being injured anytime soon. I know a lot of guys have their wishes, hoping that it's like Christina Mendoza, Natalia Coelho, or even Natalia Kovaleva, or even Michaela. But the thing is, I say this. Based like this. Michaela is short. Her physique is it's too wonky. She's too big, heavier top. It's not as even.
Yeah.
And with Christina, she's large in the legs. She just need to bring her conditioning, and that's always been a problem with her conditioning. With Natalia,
You're not that cut you off, but you're not the only one that kind of feel that same way with Michaela Acott. I remember somebody had said that she her body ain't really like it's
balance.
not balance.
Mm-hmm. And without that balance, he's not going to place as well. And like I say, with
Yeah.
the character of Leva, her jugs are too big.
Yeah.
They're too big. They take away too much from her physique. And I know people talk about Angela Yo. Angela Yo does come in shredded, but she's still small. And even she did
Who?
come out. Angela Yo. She's the one who took second to
Okay.
Andrea
Okay.
at the Olympia. She's still a bit small, and if she can put on a little more size, maybe, but it's going to be tough to beat Andrea. It's going to be next to impossible.
What about that Russian girl?
Natalia, which I mentioned, like I said, her tits are too
No,
big.
no, not her. The
Other
what?
one,
Lakova.
Anastasia Belanova.
Yeah,
She's a bit on. She's a bit on the short side too, and she does have good upper body, but she's not. Like I said again, she's not. She's like Michaela. She's not balanced enough. She's there, but she just got to come in just a lot more tighter. She can bring in a tighter conditioning. She could be, but she's not that tall. And with Andrea, she has that good height, good look. She has what Linda Murray had.
yeah.
Great balance of look, very attractive, very appealing. She's gonna
Her
do good.
legs is thick. I like her legs.
Yeah, but the thing is that Anastasia has to win a show. She only shows she has to win. She has to win a show in Spain. And if she can't win that show in Spain, she's out. And that means she can do this. She can either, because there's the Romanian Muscle Fest, which is in November, right after the Olympia. I would say do that show. They should qualification for next year. For a lot of these ladies who I know is ladies who just did the I would say this. I know they probably wouldn't want to do it because it'd be too much strain on their body. Because the best advice is that couple of days, take a rest, jump on a plane, head to Romania, try to do that show. I mean, but for those ladies who
it's like Romania. Is it? I don't want to compare it to basketball, but is it like the playoffs? Like you have
I won't
to
call it. It's not
you
the
have
playoffs.
to.
No,
Okay.
it's just a show that's Olympic qualification for next year. And
Okay.
if you want to be certain that you want to get your qualification, the best advice for the women who didn't qualify for the Olympia. Oh, he's out. All
Now I'm here.
right. For the best advice for the women who didn't qualify for the Olympia, I would say during the week of the Olympia, you might as well go out to Romania. Go a week in advance. Why go to the Olympia anyway? You just take that money, go throw away, go and fly all the way to
So
Orlando, put it aside, and say, I'm gonna
so
put extra cash to it and
no,
just go
I
to
just
Romania.
I just want to ask, like, so if one of these women they compete and they go to Romania, they would have to they have a chance to go to the Olympia. That's like a
For next
gateway
year.
for them to go. Okay, okay, for next year. All right,
Yeah,
I got you.
yeah,
I got
because the Olympia is going to be that first week in November. The remaining Muscle Fest the week after the Olympia, and if you could be one of the competitors who compete at the Olympia if you're still in conditioning.
you. Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. I think it'd be smart because
Okay.
I know your body's already strained. I think it's smart just to sit back and wait till the next season. But if you are competitors who didn't get your qualification and you don't want to
Yeah.
sit and wait till Vancouver the first year, which is always and that's going to be in April, do that show and get it out of the way. So then you just have your Olympic qualification. You sit back and chill and just start doing your prep later on. So if you're
My,
still, I would say like this, you're still in condition. I would say just most for the women who didn't get their qualification for the Olympia, those who who you are, you know, if you want to get your qualification for next year Olympia, I would say stack your chips. Don't do because like I said, no other for women's bodybuilding, there's no other shows. That's a qualification for you. Stack your chips. Then that November, instead of going to the Olympia just to hang out, just go get yourself ready and say, you know what, let me go to Romania ahead of time. So especially you gotta fly all the way from America to Romania. You want to shake off those, jet lag and get yourself challenging your body to really you know, just to, you know, that's the best advice to do. But this is me thinking out loud. But
my,
for those competitors who compete in Olympia, don't do it. You're already stressed, you're already strained. Just skip that show and just sit back and maybe wait for next year's season start. But for those competitors who did not get the qualification this year, and you want to make sure you give it, this is like a shot to get you so you can go ahead and be ready. Go ahead and do that show. So anyway, folks, I appreciate you coming through. I'd like to thank my man Big Keith for coming through. I'd like to thank Jay Warrior. I think TRVR. I'd like to thank my KL here and RU who follow the way of bodybuilding. And like I said, shout out to Jay Warrior for standing up for Emily Sherbert. She doesn't need that because, like I said, he does because it's tough for these women. And it's sad how people treat them and how they react. If you don't like these ladies, here's the best advice. Don't say nothing at all. Leave them alone. Just if you know what you like it. Why bother somebody else? Come on.
no.
Yeah.
They ain't got
So
nothing to do. That's all. That's all.
yeah,
Just ignore them. That's what I mean.
yeah. Like I said, like the man said, let the hate, let them hate till they can't hate no more. That's all they can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They ain't
Anyway,
got nothing to
folks.
do.
Like to thank y'all for going through. Shout out to y'all. We're like I said, it's gonna be kind of quiet in women's bodybuilding until well, I might talk about is there is the Texas Pro coming up a week. I think next weekend. I might talk about that show. I might do a video because there's also one that like I said, I try to do content on women's physique as often as I can. We do have another show that's the Master Show that's in Romania that week after that, and also there's the World Master Championship. And this is one thing I think that show should be Olympic qualification too, because what you can do. I know it's like all these different classes in each division. Like you have from women over 40, women over 50, over 45, all that. But if you have enough, because sometimes someone would like with how Rob Mays did. Rob Mays was competing all three in Tampa. She's competing women over 40, women over 50, women over 55. But if you have enough competitors where which you have maybe 2 or 3 competitors left. You can do like in the amateurs, have an overall to see who get the qualification for the Olympia. That you could do that. But like I said, anyway, folks, like I said again, thank you for coming through. Thank you for listening. This is MuscleTalk episode 148. And this should be always your page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Like, throw out, subscribe, and have a good wish of your week, folks.